Jam in the center.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's Friday night. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the center. Your boy, the Veep, in the building. Got my man D-Ray, the producer, holding it down with me. What's the word, D-Ray?
Hey, man, it's Friday. We made it. We survived. We are here. Man, I just need to relax and just chill because it's been a week. It has been a week. What about you, man?
Same thing. I mean, I'm fortunate that my schedule is, let's say, shorter days in the week, but more hours each day. But even then, it goes by pretty quick. So I'm just glad it's over. But I'm also glad it's Friday night again and we got the center.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We got a good show today, man.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us about our guests, bro?
Well, first of all, shout out. We're going to send a special shout out to our other co-host, Mike Precise, who had some technical difficulties earlier. So shout out to him, and he'll be back hopefully next week. But our guest tonight is... I define him as a MC. You get what I mean? A lyrical MC. And in an age where you have a lot of rappers who don't have a lot of substance, who don't have a lot of presence, who really just ain't saying nothing, this guy stands above many. And so I'm happy to call him my friend. I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to be a fan of his, and looking to dive into his career and see what he's got going on. So without further ado, hip-hop extraordinaire, Christian lyricist, Greg Luster is in the building. Welcome to the center. What's going on, Greg?
Man, yo, that intro was wow, man. Yo, I'm humbled by that. Like,
hey, look, I accept Cash App, Venmo. No, I'm just kidding. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Good to see both of y'all, man. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, I just want to say before we get started, I felt every single word that you said whenever you first came on and said that it's been a week and we made it to Friday. I really felt that. Like, I felt it.
Bruh, I mean, like, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is going on, but bruh,
yeah.
And in our community, it's just, it's just like, that's, like that T-shirt that all it says is, it just says, bruh.
That's it. That's it.
First and foremost, Mr. Luster, tell everybody who you are, where you from, and what you do.
Man, well, my name is Greg Luster, Gregory, whatever you want to call me. I am a rapper, singer, producer, songwriter. I do it all.
Nice.
I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Currently, I am in Salisbury, North Carolina. And man, I'm just trying to make music that people can relate to. I tell life stories through my music, while also projecting my faith through my music too. A lot of people, when they hear the words Christian rapper, they be like, "Oh my God, it's that guy again," or it's
right.
that type of music again. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like every bar is not going to be just solely about God or just solely like it's gonna be some realness in my bars too. Like I'm gonna be talking about how lights may be getting cut off if I don't make a payment on my bill, or I'm gonna be talking about how my kids gotta eat, or I'm gonna be talking about somebody that's got sick in my family. You know what I'm saying? So like it's some realness in the bars too. So.
Well, number one, when you said I'm from Salisbury, because, you know, we live in the same vicinity, you know, I had that joke about, you know, Star Wars is basically the Tatooine of North Carolina. You know, when Luke Skywalker was like, whatever's going on in the galaxy, we are, you know, we're from the place that is farthest from, you know, but
when you mention the word Salisbury, people be like, huh? And I have to say, I'm 30 minutes from Charlotte. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
I usually just say we're right outside of Charlotte. You know, I don't even say Salisbury, but just that. But it's something that you touched on when you said, when people hear Christian hip hop. I have my opinion on why that is, why people give you that kind of side eye when they first hear it, before they hear your music and before they know who you are. Can you give maybe your opinion on why do you think there's such a stigma attached to being a Christian hip hop artist?
Well, I think there's a couple of different ways that I can answer that. I think first we need to start at the word Christian itself, period. When people hear the word Christian, they feel like, I feel that they feel like there's no fun in being a Christian. You can't have fun. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't go to this place. You can't be a part of that. So it has that stigma with that word. And then I feel like there's so much that's going on in this world that maybe sheds a bad light on being a Christian. That they're like, well, if they're doing this and they're proclaiming to be a Christian, I'm pretty much doing the same thing on this side, so what I got to be a Christian for? So you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of different stigmas that go along with being a Christian. Yeah. And then when you add the word artist behind it, Christian rapper, Christian singer, whatever, it's just like, I know for me, before I heard certain artists that were Christian rappers, I always thought, before I even got into being in this genre, I always thought that it was kind of lame. Like I ain't know that it was actually people that was in this lane that actually had bars, like it was actually talking about something.
Right.
It's all about not knowing. Not knowing. It's the not knowing of it that has people like, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because I mean, kind of like if you think about it, at the root of it, you know, a lot of people, especially people in my generation, when we first hear Christian hip hop, you know, it's almost like a learned condition that the first thing we think about is, okay, their music probably whack. You know what I mean? They probably, you know, they spent no music. They still, you know, messing around with a tape recorder and, you know, they want credit because they're talking about Jesus. And so they mom and them probably told them that they sound good and, you know, and honestly, while it is an unfair assessment, there were so many that tried to skate through just on effort and not on skill, that you can forgive people for having that misconception in the first place, you know?
Right. So, I agree 100%.
Right. However, that is not the case with you, sir. At all.
I try. I definitely try. I try. To me, I feel like if you're gonna do it, it don't matter what genre that you're doing. You can rap, R&B, country, pop. It don't matter what genre it is. I feel like if you're going to do it to the best of your ability. Like, do it to be not even necessarily being in competition with anybody else, but being in competition with yourself. Like, make sure that you're getting better and better and better and better every single time that you step out on that stage or step in the studio and create more music. Like, you got to get better. So
absolutely.
So Greg, let me ask you, and I know this for a fact because I'm speaking out of experience in this case. When you start to call yourself a Christian rapper and so on, because there is that either stigmatism or that challenge of Christian music being whack, it was like even more pressure to make sure you bring it, you know, because I started learning from other Christian artists like Super C, my man, what was it, Peace 386, I believe it is, and so on, that if you're going to, first of all, proclaim you're a Christian and proclaim as Christian rap, then we expect you to be giving your best and not just fluff. How did you feel about that when it came to what you brought to your music?
I agree with you. It is definitely a different type of pressure when it comes to putting that type of label on yourself. It's already pressure when you're just a regular secular R&B or rap artist. It's already a little bit of pressure on that, because it's just like, when you're in North Carolina, I say my state, and I say our town. It's not like it's a whole bunch of people that's trying to work together to get to the same place. Like, it's competition. So then when you throw in, being a Christian on top of that, it's just like, man, I feel like it's gatekeepers in the genre.
I can believe that.
You have like the Lecrae's, you have the whole 116 clique, you have
cross movement and all that.
Yeah, cross movement. I mean, like, I feel like there are gatekeepers. It was already gatekeepers to me in the regular mainstream world, but then you switch over to Christian, and I really feel like it even narrows that down even more. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to come with your A game when it comes to this type of music. Because if you don't, you got to get chewed out.
That's a fact. we got another one of my Christian hip hop brethren, one of our favorite lyrical MCs here at Blast Music, Mr. Chris White. We can be nice to him because it's not football season anymore. But
hold on, wait a minute. What's his team?
You know, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, so you know we got to give him the business every chance we get. But Chris White says, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest." Ecclesiastes 9:10. And it's funny that you touched on the gatekeepers, because what I'd like to do, I want to play one of your songs first. And then when we come back, we want to talk about the challenges of being not on. Come on, man. See, this is what I got to deal with. This is what I got to deal with. This is truly
just 1-1.
Thou shalt not steal. This is my brother for real. I love you, Chris. But when we come back, we want to talk about the challenges of because it's a challenge enough being an independent artist in this day and age.
Facts.
It's doubly a challenge being a Christian hip hop artist. Because
Facts.
Like you said, there are gatekeepers, and and I would dare argue, and if Chris want to comment in the comment section too, I would dare say there are more gatekeepers in Christian hip hop and in Christian music as a whole than there are anywhere. And that's not necessarily a good thing, but we'll talk about that when we come back. This first track we're going to play from Mr. Luster. I pulled this one out of the ether. This is Greg Luster with Dreams here on The Center. Let's go.
You know what? Dreams are considered meaningful and sacred. And a lot of times, God will use your dreams as guidance and purpose in your life. You did. Dreams. The let them pass you. Yeah. Don't let them kill your dreams, young king. You got too much inside of you, just let the sun beam. I know you frustrated, I know you tired of waiting, I know you tired of seeing everybody around you make it, and not you. I know you got a family, life gets over demanding, nothing's going like you planning, no progression, you just sitting still, something like a mannequin. You try to quit, but you still involved Peyton Manning. But who's inside of you is guiding you. Just let him do his thing so he can bring the best about you. You're made in his image. I know the devil tried to lie to you and sent distractions when your friends started saying bye to you. But 1 John 4:4 says our Lord is greater than anything that's in this world. Nowadays it's rare to find the oyster with the pearl. About as rare as you, no matter what you're going through. Just keep your feet planted in the stirrup. Keep on cooking like an oven. Every opportunity you get, take advantage of it. God on your side, no matter if they never love it. If we ain't talking success, then you can go and change the subject. Let these dreams pass by. Keep on cooking like an oven. Every opportunity you get, take advantage of it. God on your side, no matter if they never love it. If we ain't talking success, then you can go and change the subject. I've seen you fall flat on your face, but you handle it great. You put your hand on the pavement to handle your weight to get up. So why change now? Oh, the circumstances different, so you laying down. All these dreams you've been having and all these people laughing about your passion should make you a savage. You great, they just mad that they average. They can't comprehend your vision. No need to pass on your glasses. You should know you a different breed. No time for they fabric. Plus, who's inside of you is guiding you. Just let him do his thing so he can bring the best about of you. You're made in his image. I know the devil tried to lie to you and sent distractions when your friends started saying bye to you. But 1 John 4:4 says our Lord is greater than anything that's in this world. Nowadays it's rare to find the oyster with the pearl. About as rare as you, no matter what you're going through. Just keep your feet planted in the streams pass by. Keep on cooking like an oven. Every opportunity you get, take advantage of it. God on your side, no matter if they never love it. If we ain't talking success, then you can go and change the subject. Don't let these dreams pass by. Keep on cooking like an oven. Every opportunity you get, take advantage of it. God on your side, no matter if they never love it. If we ain't talking success, then you can go and change the subject. Don't let these dreams pass by. Nah. Don't let these dreams pass by. Don't let these dreams pass by. Nah. Don't let these dreams pass by.
That was real dope.
Yo.
Yeah, that was Dreams by Mr. Greg Luster. Before we get into it, can you tell us the personnel and who produced that track and tell us about what the motivation was for you to write that?
Honestly, I forgot the name of that producer. Oh man. I want to say his name is Cardiac. Honestly, man, the whole thing behind that track is every word, even though I was spitting it in a point of view of I'm talking to someone else out there, I was actually talking to myself. Like, man, like don't let these dreams pass by. Like you have everything that you need. You're equipped with everything that you need. Why are you sitting on the sideline letting everybody pass you by? Like, do what you gotta do. I would rather for you, like, this is a conversation with myself, I would rather for you to try everything it is that you could possibly try and fail 1,000 times than to not try at all and always wonder in the back of your head, like, man, what would have happened if I would have did this or if I would have did that? So yeah, that was the whole thing behind that track, man. Just basically having a conversation with myself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, to date, that's one of my favorite tracks of yours.
Really?
Because not only because of the message, but simply because of the flow.
Wow.
So real quick, tell us what got you into hip hop. What was the moment? Because I think we ask every guest that comes on the center, What was the moment that you fell in love with hip hop? Period.
Man, that's a good question. I think the moment that I really fell in love with, I'll put it like this. I'll answer it like this. The moment that I fell in love with music, period, was seeing Pharrell Williams back in the day. When he first started out with was it Teddy Riley? Was it Teddy Riley the one that he produced that song for? Before he got with Nori? It was it Rump Shaker? It was like one of his first first tracks that he produced for somebody. And then because that's my favorite producer.
Pharrell.
Pharrell.
That's interesting.
That's my favorite producer.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So when I seen that, I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then hearing Timbaland come along and get his shot and his creative style, I was like, okay, so he's number 2 behind Pharrell for me.
Okay.
So hearing both of them together was just like, okay. And then I started hearing the Nas's and the Jay-Z's and the Rakims and just everybody just getting that bug in my ear. I was like, okay, all right, yeah, this is something that I want to do for real.
Now, with you being a singer, was singing more your first love before hip hop was?
It was. We actually started out in a group together, me and my homeboys way back in the day. It was Amore, and we started out singing R&B. We actually had a chance to sing on Power 98. We sung in front of 3LW. It was a celebration station singing. We came close to getting a deal a couple times, but everything just fell through. So yeah, singing was the original passion, but then I got introduced to rap, and I was like, okay, this may be it. This may be it.
Now you got to understand, Veep, his back in the day ain't our back in the day.
That's true.
Because he's a tad bit younger than us. Tad bit. In this particular case,
don't hold it against me though.
We're Old Testament. He's New Testament.
Got it.
Yeah. Still ain't as old as El Rocker, but hey, Chief Rocker.
No, sir, DJ Gooch. That's who you talking about.
Oh no, Gooch was there with the snake in Garden of Eden. But anyway, moving on. Shout out DJ Gooch. Go ahead, V.
So I was gonna ask you, can you remember the first album or probably in your case, cassette or CD that you bought of hip hop?
Honestly, I don't remember the first one that I bought. Mm-hmm. I think the one that stands out the most to me, probably Outkast. I had all of their CDs or cassettes, whatever you want to call it. I had ATLiens, I had Equimini, I had all of them. And I think they were one, probably not the most, but one of the biggest inspirations musically for me. I was a big Outkast fan. More specifically Drake. I mean, not Drake.
Big Boy.
Not Big Boy. Yeah, Drake. Andre 3000. Okay. I was more specifically a Drake fan. So
that dude was amazing. But you know what though? That makes sense, because when I think back to when I first heard Outkast, because like I first heard Outkast would have been 97, 96, 97, somewhere around in there. they sounded different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you know, you had a lot of, if you were from New York, everybody wanted to sound like you were from New York, or if they were West Coast, everybody wanted to sound like NWA or whatever. But yeah, absolutely, he absolutely is.
Absolutely.
But Outkast had their own lane, so that the production was tight, the lyricism was tight, the delivery was tight, but they had a sound that sounded independent.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and you know, so that kind of, in my opinion, that kind of set them apart, and so that makes a lot of sense while you were gravitating towards that.
You got to think about it like this. I grew up in a Christian household. Both of my parents was Christian. My dad was an evangelist, so I had to really sneak and try to listen to music. So it was hard for me to get a hold of music versus the average person who didn't grow up in the Christian household.
Right.
They could just listen to it at any time. I had to get it how I could get it. So yeah,
I didn't know you was a PK. Okay, so now look, now that's starting to starting to get it a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely.
Before we get to your next track, we briefly touched on gatekeepers before, and we were talking about, and we kind of made the assertion that in Christian hip hop, there seems to be a lot more gatekeepers than any other place. And Chris White made an interesting comment earlier. He said it's all the same, but it's worse on the Christian side because it's less opportunities, less unity and collaboration, and more hoarders of doors and relationships. Can you expound on your experience with that? Because I know we both have horror stories, but can you expound on your experience with that?
Ooh, man. First of all, I feel like Christian or gospel music is.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, bro? I feel like this genre of music has the most judgmental people in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the audience of this music. My goodness, you can't make one wrong move, because if you do, that's your career. You know what I'm saying? Like and I get it. You have to be held to a higher standard with the type of music that you do, but man, it's hard. It's a hard thing, and I don't even think that standard is fair, because you know, you coming into the game with already 2 strikes against you. You know, because people already have this thing on hip hop. And they especially even today in 2024, they still have this stigma attached to Christian hip hop. You know what I mean? And so, well, go ahead and finish what you were saying. I'm sorry I interrupted. No, you're good. You're good. I really feel like that there is some form of gatekeeping in this genre. I really feel like that it's hard for people like myself to make connections. Because I was actually talking about this the other day. I'm not gonna name the artist because I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna do that.
Understood.
But there's an who is starting to get a lot of exposure. The music is tight. I ain't even gonna lie. The music is tight. His flow is tight. But ever since he started getting this exposure, it's just like he has that I'm kind of almost sort of like I'm better than you type of attitude, and I'm not really reaching back to try to help. And like I had reached out to this cat, not even on some collaboration stuff, just basically congratulating and all that other type of stuff. Like, congratulations, I see you doing your thing type of stuff. And the response that I got back was kind of sort of like a he on guard type of like, what do you want? Like, I ain't really trying to. I'm like, bruh, it's not none of that. Like, I'm happy for you. Please believe, get yours while you can get it. Like, I want you to be successful. It's a lot of that going on. So I've experienced it firsthand, and it's not cool, but it is what it is. I just do what I gotta do.
Yeah, first shout out to Michael Body. That's our homie. He's at Are You Talking About Hip Hop Exposure? We are particularly talking about Christian hip hop exposure, which is a whole nother separate beast.
It is.
In and of itself. Chris White says, easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. You have to be free to create. As long as the Lord is pleased, make your music. I agree 1000%. And you know, before I get on my soapbox, embarrassingly, I haven't heard of any of that yet. Well, hang on, Mike, because we're about to play some more of Mr. Greg Luster.
Yes.
You know, I kind of called it. He's our blast artist spotlight of the evening. So this one we're gonna play "Step It Up." Mr. Greg Luster in the building.
You pulling them out today.
Hey,
Look,
come on, man.
I forgot about dreams. Now you pulling this one out too. Okay.
Hey, look, man, you know what we do up here. This is the center. Greg Luster, let's go.
Hey, turn me up in the headphones. Oh yeah, that's good. Hey, yeah, gotta step it up. Yeah, gotta step it up. Yeah, gotta step it up. Yeah, gotta step it. I'm so done with last year. It wasn't a fun the past year. I took losses, it was costly, but I can't get mad yet. I took shots to my ego, hard to find me like Nemo. I was praying to God to burn everything out of me like chemo. Now I'm cocked back, reload. I'm coming for mine, no repo. So tell the devil, just be prepared if he come and look at my people. Man, what up to my people? Aunts, uncles, and primos. All of my foes, all of my woes. Shout out to my amigos. Man, I'm coming for my blessings, ballin' like Clyde Drexler. And I came to give God's message and spread the truth to give y'all leverage. Man, my mama told me, don't you ever stop and don't you ever quit. You on the mission, gotta handle it, so just stand tall, don't you ever sit. Nah, done came too far, too far, too far, too far. These lyrics God gave me, man, they too raw, too raw, too raw. Hey, ain't no way I'm gonna mess it up. Ain't no stressing, I want blessings, man, I gotta step it up. Yeah. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. The devil tryna get me, man, I gotta step it up. New anointing, new progressions, man, I gotta step it up. Ain't no stressing, I want blessings, man, I gotta step it up. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. God gave me a message, man, I gotta step it up. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. Hope you hear me if you feel me, man, you gotta step it up. Come this far, no giving up. It's only one life, I'ma live it up. I get all my strength from the risen one. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'ma go hard, ain't no stopping what I'm doing. All my blessings I'm pursuing. This year gonna be lit. Ain't no way that you can ruin it. Philippians 4:19. He gonna meet all my needs. Everything works for my good, even things I cannot see. My daddy told me I'm a star. Told me that I'ma go far. As long as I'm planted in God, then baby, the planet is ours. NEMG, I'm reppin' for the squad. These demons can't see me, I put that on God. These lyrics God gave me, man, they so raw. He still use me, even though I got flaws. Man, ain't no way I'm gonna mess it up. Ain't no stressing, I want blessings, man, I gotta step it up. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. The devil tryna get me, man, I gotta step it up. New anointing, new progressions, man, I gotta step it up. Ain't no stressing, I want blessings, man, I gotta step it up. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. God gave me a message, man, I gotta step it up. Hey, man, I gotta step it up. Hope you hear me if you feel me, man, you gotta step it up.
Yes, indeed.
Step it up.
Man.
And that was Mr. Greg Luster with Step It Up. And if you are an independent artist in need of some exposure, go to www.blastmusic247.com, fill out a free profile, and let's get your art out to the community. Blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time.
Yes, indeed.
So tell us about that, man. What was the motivation behind that, man?
Just being in a situation where I wanted to write something upbeat, and I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I needed something that was going to connect with the people, and at the same time have some knock with it, have a killer beat with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was, man.
That's what Michael Body said. It's like such positivity above a killer beat. I think mission accomplished, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good explanation right there. So I was gonna ask fellas, like, if you look at it, even the dynamic of gospel singers, Yolanda Adams, CeCe Winans, they had to go through some stuff to get to where they were. Mm-hmm. And imagine the old school gospel singers then that were preventing them to get there, because it's like in general, anything that deals with the church, it is extra scrutiny. So you really have to be on your A game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also you got to look at creative ways of getting in. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to be able to use the traditional ways. Right. And I tell Christian artists all the time, if you go back and look at how Lecrae got on.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, if you go back and look at how Lecrae got on, and let's just keep it a buck with you. Lecrae is a top tier lyricist, right?
X.
He is Black Thought level lyricist. In my opinion. But look at how he had to get on. He couldn't get on traditional gospel radio. They weren't.
You think he black? Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. You think he Black Thought? You think he Black Thought on that level?
I said black. I said he's approaching it. You know what I mean? He's in the same solar system. I give him that.
I think he is.
And I'm gonna tell you why. And you know, the cipher that he did on BET kind of pushed me over the edge, and it was just like, okay, all right, I get it.
I'm not going. Even though I like Lecrae,
right.
I'm not gonna give him the Black Thought level. I'm not gonna give him that. I think Black Thought is on another hemisphere when it comes to that. I don't think there's a lot of cats that's gonna be on his hemisphere. Now, do I think that he's dope? Of course, I really do. But I wouldn't say Lecrae. Chris Wright said I wouldn't say Lecrae is top tier. Woo! But hey, that's what we do in the center. I put it like this: he has made such a lane for himself,
right?
By gathering other artists who are mainstream artists, and getting more exposure towards what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like the same thing that Kirk Franklin did. He's worked with a whole bunch of mainstream artists, and he put a name for himself too. So lyrically, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lyrically, in his 116 click, I feel like I like Trip Lee, Andy Mineo,
Andy, that's my boy.
Shobaraka was my favorite.
Andy Mineo.
Yeah,
he ain't with them no more. I'm talking about like the current clique. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more of an Andy Mineo and Trip Lee fan than I am Lecrae.
Hold on, Greg. Because see, Chris White is letting his Dallas Cowboy thing shine. Because he's letting his hate come out now. I think he's a below average lyrically. He just found his niche. No hate, just being honest. Spoken just like somebody straight out of Irving, Texas. But no.
Please.
You're entitled, bro. What I think, number one, I feel like, when I saw him in the cipher, that was his opportunity to kind of say, this is where I belong, right?
Yeah.
And so he kind of won me over with that. Two, you look at his lane, he's almost like the Jackie Robinson of hip hop, or Christian hip hop, because he wasn't really accepted by us, by our crowd. He was featured on DC Talk and got a lot of play on contemporary Christian radio. He didn't get played on gospel radio. Right. And so he got on that way. And so, in a sense, it's kind of like, a lot of people kind of give that the side eye. That would be like back in the day, if like, remember when Young MC, well, this was before your time, Greg. But Young MC had this track, I think that was 89, 1990. It's called Bust a Move, right?
That was the hit.
Yeah. That was the hit, but it was on white radio. It was everywhere.
MTV was killing it.
MTV was even killing it, but because it was on white radio, and because a lot more white kids bought that record, it almost seemed like it lost its credibility on the streets. You know what I mean? Because we weren't in the hood talking about Bust a Move. We wouldn't say that. You get jumped saying that in the hood.
Yeah, he was considered a clean rapper and all this other stuff. Another Will Smith, if you will, or Fresh Prince.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He didn't get the love that he deserved.
Right.
Now the Caucasian community, whole different ballgame.
Yeah, and I feel like in some ways that's kind of challenging, that it seems like there are some audiences and there are some people that are a lot more accepting of new ways of Christian expression, than our folks.
Yeah.
And that makes it really, 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 really difficult.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So Greg, let me ask you, would you say because the time you came in, you had the social media, whereas D-Ray and I, we did not have social media. And if we had social media, who knows? That might have done more for us, done less. I don't know. In your case, has social media helped you or harmed you?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Social media has.
All right, go ahead.
Social media, it definitely has its pros, but it definitely has its cons as well. As far as pros, I feel like nowadays anyone can record a song, mix it, master it, and you can put it out tomorrow if you wanted to. But the only thing that I don't like is the way that they've done the streaming versus CD sales and all that stuff. In my opinion, I feel like you get more money back in the day with the CDs and cassettes, all that type of stuff, versus now. I think streams is what, a 0.000 something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not money unless you're getting millions and millions and millions and millions of streams a month. You're not really making money when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I
just read something that said that because there's legislation before Congress to try to get, I think it's called a Musician Recovery or Musician Survival Act or something like that. But they said that it would require you to have 800,000 streams a month to equal having a minimum wage full-time job.
Wow.
Right. And you think about you think about that on 800,000 streams a month. The average independent artist is not going to see. No. They may not see 100,000 streams.
No.
And so that does make it. I want to touch on what Chris White just said, but and this is going to lead me to my question for you, because he's going back to talk about Lecrae. He's saying he's below average, but he got the machine of DC Talk behind him. DC Talk already had a platform and tours. He just got plugged into their audience. I saw DC Talk perform when I was like 12 years old, which brings me to an interesting question. Have you ever seen a Christian hip hop concert? Have you
I
ever
have.
seen somebody that's like that you would consider like, okay, you know, mainstream? And who was the first concert that you saw?
Okay, so I went. Speaking of Lecrae, I went to one of their shows when they came to, I think it was Charlotte. This was, man, what year was this? I can't even remember what year this was. This was maybe 2019, something like that, 2020. I can't remember what year it was, but they came here to Charlotte. And even though it was at a church, it still felt kind of mainstreamish a little bit. Who else did I go see? I've been to a couple different concerts, but that was like one of the main ones that I really remember was Lecrae and the whole 116 clique. And I've even heard stories about whenever he does have concerts at like regular arenas or, you know, whatever the case may be, sometimes there's like alcohol at those concerts. And that's another thing that we need to bring up, because it's like when regular people, I ain't gonna say regular, when people who are not Christians see this type of stuff, that's another thing that gives them a little, like, I drink and I'm not a Christian, so if they having this at a gospel concert, then what's the point of me being a Christian? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I think that's another thing that adds on to the stigma of Christians and Christian rap and all that type of stuff. So.
Yeah, because I mean, like the first and to date only mainstream Christian hip hop concert I have ever been to. What year was this? This would have been 2001. Yeah, 2001. I saw the Cross Movement. They were at a Kojic church over in Charlotte. Yeah, they were in Charlotte. At this church, I forget the name of it. It was on Old Concord Road, like maybe 5 or 6 miles away from UNC Charlotte, where I went to school. Right. And I remember in the show that while it was decent concert, it was there. They had a merch table, whatever. Number one, it was in a church, and number two, it felt really, really confining. You know what I mean? It felt really like, I remember one dude was really getting into it and took his shirt off, and a bunch of the deacons came over, was like, no. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
I can see that. Yeah.
Right. And I see that it, you know, but if you look at like a DC Talk been selling out arenas like forever.
Yep.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And Christian hip hop, I'm sorry, has just not had that. You know, and that just makes it really, really difficult to get some footing in this business. So
yeah.
I do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's not for the weak-hearted.
That's
it's not for the weak heart. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't jump into this thing. This was not, I put it like this was not my idea. If I would have had my way, I would have stayed right where I was at. But God was like, nah, I need you right here where you at right now. So this is definitely not my idea. You know what I'm saying? But when you're called to do something, you just got to do it. So it's definitely not for the weak-hearted. If you come into this thing looking to make money, millions and all that, unless you're a Lecrae or someone of that stature, you know, that point in their career, that's not something that you're gonna be doing, you know. So
even Lecrae had to pay his dues, so
he
did.
Facts.
It is what it is. So D-Ray, go ahead and bust the other video that we got.
Absolutely. So this is the last thing we have for this evening. I don't know the exact title of this, but we just gonna rock with Greg Luster tonight on the center. Let's go.
Father God, Your word in Timothy, chapter 2, verse 21 says, therefore, if anyone cleanses himself from these things, he will be a vessel for honor, sanctified, useful to the master, prepared for every good work. Well, God, I'm just trying to be a vessel. You did. Listen, I need you like the plants need water. I need you like baguettes need borders, like the vets need supporters, like the jets need waters. In order for ISIS to kill, you can bet they need mortars. Like the army needs a fortress, like society needs the Forbes list, so they can tell who talk about it and can really afford it. Like the earth needs the sun to be in orbit. God, I need you. My whole purpose is to please you. Sing the hook like this. I just wanna feel your presence. Yeah, I just wanna feel your presence. Please don't ever take your anointing away. Life without it loses essence. It don't take a magazine to understand that I got issues. Yeah, understand that I got issues. I ain't perfect, but I know that I am worth it. And I know that you can use me. I'm a vessel, let me work. I'm a vessel, let me work. Yeah. I can't breathe without you. I can't eat without you. I ain't me without you. Where would I be without you? I can't believe they doubt you. You made the trees and mountains, miracles from heaven. Everything is countless. Living water for the thirsty. Lord, pour out your mercy. My sinful flesh trying to curse me. Like the earth needs the sun to be in orbit. God, I need you. My whole purpose is to please you. Sing the hook. I just wanna feel your presence. Yeah, I just wanna feel your presence. Please don't ever take your anointing away. Life without it loses essence. It don't take a magazine to understand that I got issues. Yeah, understand that I got issues. I ain't perfect, but I know that I am worth it. And I know that you can use me. I'm a vessel, let me work. I'm a vessel, let me work. Yeah.
That was
Man, that was dope.
That was
Appreciate
dope.
that, man.
And Chris White said this joint is fire. Tell us about that track.
Salute, man. We that was actually that used to be actually one of my favorite songs, to be honest with you. I wrote that song. A real good secret of mine is a lot of the songs that I write are in the car. And I wrote that song while I was sitting in the car. I was actually kind of a little bit in a low place, and I was like, God, I don't ever want you to, you know what I'm saying, take your hand away from me. I don't want you to ever take your anointing away from me. I want to, if you ever take your hand off of me, what, you know what I'm saying, like what's the point of me doing what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying, like I'm doing it for no reason. So
Right.
yeah, I was just kind of in a low place, and I just wanted God to, you know what I'm saying, just hear me out.
Where did you shoot that video?
That was actually at a church in Concord. The church is no longer there, but it was a real good pastor friend of mine. My dad used to go to his church and preach and sing all the time. And after my dad passed, we just still kept in contact, and he let me use the church. So yeah, he's been knowing me since I was a baby. So,
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I love the song. What does the acronym NEMG mean?
So it's New Era Music Group. That is the name of the group that I'm in, that I'm a part of. I actually have two other guys that's with me in the group. One of the guys, I've been knowing him since we was in middle school. The other guy I met through him, and it's like it feels like we've been knowing each other just as long as I've been knowing, Sean. So yeah, man, New Era Music Group. We got a joint out already, a CD out. It's called The Vision. We're working on a new project now called The Vision 2. So I put it like this: if you think that I am a good lyricist, then my guy Jamar will really, I feel like he'll put me to shame. You know what I'm saying? Because like this dude, he can spit a 16 right off the dome and don't even like it's nothing. Like won't even be thinking about it. So
right. Chris White says, I love the video. It shows the true struggle of the Christian hip hop artist. We've probably all done hundreds of shows with audience of a few. That is an absolute fact.
Facts.
I think
Facts.
that is like the boot camp for any Christian rapper. That's
a boot camp for any independent artist, but especially for Christian hip hop artists, because when you go out there and you hit the stage and ain't nobody out there but your kids
or your family members.
Bruh. You know what really like I think we all have went through as far as like Christian hip hop artists. One thing that churches or events love to do is they love to bring you out, and their form of payment is like a plate of food. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Bruh.
That's
you know how many times that I have went and performed somewhere and had a plate of food as payment?
Bro,
I'm not saying that I ain't grateful for it, because I probably was hungry, because I'm not gonna eat before I perform. I always wait to eat after I perform.
Right.
So I'm not saying I ain't grateful for it, but hey, I got bills to pay just like a regular artist.
Yeah.
We have we all have a mutual friend here at Blast, comedian Big Los, Christian stand-up comedian. And Big Los and I, we have horror stories, and we talk about that, especially because when you big and tall, you know what I mean? When you you're a big dude, they really feel like that a piece of chicken is gonna fix everything. And I cannot fit them chicken bones in my gas tank at all. So let me ask you this real quick. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Chris White said, I had to pray about it. God gave me a price to charge, and if they couldn't afford it, I would have to pass. And that is how you have to interject business, and not only just business, but self-care, because that kind of thing where you go and you pour out and you don't get any kind of return, that can cause some type of PTSD to some degree. You know what I mean?
Easily.
But here's my question for you, because I know we're up against the clock. Have you ever been tempted to switch tracks?
Yes. Whatever you're about to say, probably.
Yeah. To switch tracks and to say, you know what? Don't call me a Christian hip hop artist. Just call me a hip hop artist who happens to be Christian.
Yes.
And
I thought about taking the Lecrae route. Yes.
Right. So if you have not pulled the trigger, why have you not pulled the trigger?
Conviction.
Conviction.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to feel bad in the end. It's not something that God has led me to do. Now if he leads me to do something like that, okay, but I haven't felt led to do it, so I'm gonna keep it going the way that I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't like being put in a box, because like you said, like we've been saying in the beginning, there's always that stigma that comes with being a Christian artist, Christian rapper, whatever you want to call it. And when you hear those words together, people are just like, they automatically just push it to the side, like, I don't want to hear that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even want to hear what you're saying. But trust me, I've thought about it thousands of times. Thousands. So yeah, most definitely.
Well, Chris White says, God calls us to be good stewards of our time and our resources. And I will take that a step further. One of these days, Chris White, and I'm probably going to invite you and a lot of other Christian creatives that we know, I really want to have like a forum where we talk about the differences between doing ministry and being in the entertainment business, because there are two different lanes, and a lot of times, especially when you have a heart for this business, you can get taken advantage of. And I always reflect back to an old saying that I heard, that sounded bad when I first heard it, but the more and more I think about it, it's sounding more accurate, and that is that the church will always buy what it wants and beg for what it needs. You know what I mean? And so it's one of the things.
Say that one more time.
You say the church will always buy what it wants and beg for what it needs.
Wow.
And so it's like you have to kind of, in this day and age, you have to practice some type of self-care. You know, especially when, to keep your relationship where it needs to be, and to do what you need to do, whether it's comedy, whether it's writing plays, whether it's hip hop, whatever the case may be, you have to sort of put up these boundaries to say, you know what, if you can't meet this, I'll have to catch y'all next time. Now, there might come a day that I'll accept to play the chicken.
Right.
I hear you.
But today ain't one of them days.
Right. Today ain't one of them days.
Hey, we got Mike Precise in the building from the UBCs. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening, y'all? How am I sounding okay? Did I come a little bit better?
It's better than when you were. It's better now than it was in your vehicle.
Yeah,
yes.
you sounded like Morpheus trying to send a message through the Matrix where you was at. So
with no phone as a point of contact. Huh? Right. Oh wow. So I didn't want to miss. Every time when Veep clues me in on who's coming in. And I start doing my little background and research. If I don't know who the person is, I'm like, all right, I don't want to miss this brother. I didn't want to miss this brother right here. So I'm like, so my son had a baseball game. I wanted to go to the game at least for a little bit and then dip out. And because I wanted to see my man Gregory Luster, and it's not a real official meeting, but how you doing, brother? I just want to say I like your style, ministry wise, and rap wise. You just seem like a genuine dude, even through the screens. And all of the stuff that you post is crazy.
We ain't got into that yet.
The dad jokes, my oldest son loves them type of crazy jokes.
Listen, man, I love to do it, man. I love to do it because, I feel like, people feel like that you can't have fun being a Christian, and I'm just like, bro. You gotta have fun. You can't be a perfect person because there's no perfect person in this world.
Yeah, you're not serious all the time. This is life. This is life we live in.
Facts.
So I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna have a conversation after the show. But real quick, as we got to land the plane. Greg, please tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find your music, and where they can see them crazy dad jokes.
So, man, my music is on every platform, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get the music at, it's on there. Social media, I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. My Facebook and Instagram, same name, Gregory Luster Music. TikTok, same thing. And then I'm on Twitter as well. I don't be on Twitter like that. So, but you can hit me up on there as well. But yeah, man, Gregory Luster Music.
Can I say one thing? I just want to check because I missed the whole thing. Only two things. Did you guys talk about the awards that you won, Greg?
We didn't even get to that.
And I wanted to ask about there was one particular project I saw you were a part of called the MCs. And my background that immediately stuck out to me. I was like,
that's the big project with everybody that was featured on there or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a compilation of a whole bunch of songs. That immediately jumped out at me because that's what I gravitate towards, you know.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to ask. I only wanted to ask those two things. That's it. That's all. So.
yeah. So I was actually quite shocked to be a part of that project. To be honest with you, the guy reached out to me out of nowhere. I don't know how he heard my music, but he heard it and he asked me did I want to be a part of the project. I said, of course. You know, I was actually surprised to be a part of it. So
do you even know who all those other artists are? Because I was scrolling, like that's a lot of artists.
So there was a couple of names that I do know who they are. One of them I actually worked with. I got a couple songs with. Her name is very dope artist. So shout out to Virtuous. There was another cat on there that I knew as well, but it was a majority of those names. No, I don't know.
Yeah, that just tells me there's a lot of us out there, man.
Mm-hmm. And if memory serves me correct, you won the Charlotte Music Awards,
Queen City Awards. Yep, it was 2 awards from the Queen City Awards, and it was 2 awards from the VOGMAs in Alabama.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've had an award-winning Christian hip hop artist on the set.
Yeah.
I'm still in shock to this day. Look, I got them hanging up on the walls, and I'm still in shock to this day.
That's right. All right.
So as we're wrapping this up, Chris White, you know, first of all, Chris, thank you for hanging in with us, man. I would love to see you and Greg do something, Chris, because I think y'all would really compliment each other. Chris says, you know, and he quoted Galatians 5:1, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and not be entangled again with the yoke of bondage. And he added on, the late Bishop Summerfield from Word of God Church wrote a book titled Don't Lose Yours, Trying to Save Theirs. And a lot, I see that a lot.
That's the word, though.
Yeah, and so you have to kind of, you know, put your full armor on in this business, especially the lane that you're in. And so shout out to Chris, and I think you and Chris would really vibe off each other. So I'm gonna try to set you guys up. And
he's a good dude.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it now, you know, before July and August, because, you know, during the football season, Chris White is like one of the worst people to be around. You know what I mean? And then look, and right around November, December, he's one of the most depressed people to be around, because it's always, you know what?
I can't even say too much.
No, because Dallas Cowboy fans is just like Game of Thrones. Winter is coming every year.
Exactly, Chris.
Look, I can't say too much.
I forgot Veep is a Cowboy fan too. Yeah. All right, I'll do that. I'll do the rest of the show, Chris.
I can't say too much because my team is terrible. They rebuilding, and it's just.
Are you a Panther fan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so your team lost and then raised ticket prices for the next year.
Where they do that at? Tell me where they do that
at. All right, anybody.
Some marketing mind game.
Look, we're gonna wrap it up, and if you can, Greg, stick around a little bit so my man Mike can ask those other questions, because they're gonna pop up, I'm sure.
It's
cool. It's cool. D-Ray, what do you got to say before we head out, D-Ray?
Look, man, this has been a pleasure talking to Greg and vibing with Chris in the comments, and you know, I shouldn't even put this on the D-Ray letting the enemy use him tonight. No, see, I rebuke that in the name of the Steelers. But anyway,
that's the right name.
Oh, snap.
But look here, y'all. Look here, on the real, man, it's good to vibe like this. It's good to, you know, have this kind of brotherhood, and it is also really, really good to see someone that's being their authentic self, and they're carving out their own lane. And so proud of you, Greg. And you know, I'm always rooting for you, and I'm gonna send you a beat every chance I get, brother. So you know,
I'm with it.
I definitely want to see you win for no other reason.
I'll take some more. I'll take a few more.
No comment, Mike. No comment.
I know you just popped in, Mike, but what would you like to say before we head out?
Oh, me?
Yes, sir.
Whatever Greg said, do it.
There you go. No doubt.
I'm sorry I missed, man. I love doing this, especially with brothers that been in the trenches. Cause you got stuff. I saw your stuff going back like 9 years.
Listen, I've been doing this for quite a long time.
Dog.
Yeah, now that I think, you know what? Now that I think about it, because it's 2024. Greg, when did I meet you? When that like 2015?
Something like that.
2014, somewhere around there?
Yeah, something like that. And I've been doing this way before that too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a grind.
Whatever.
Go ahead and land the plane, V.
That's it.
No doubt. So everybody, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you for doing so. Please check us out next week. Our big 10th episode of The Center. We are launching it. It is, no doubt. We are actually going to go down memory lane. I had ran into my crew who I haven't seen in about 30 years. And the team that produced our music, which is Hard Knowledge, and they used to rap too. So we got all of those members, and then me, Rock, bringing back Down by Law, which was our rap group, because Hard Knowledge used to produce our music.
Down by Law.
Hey, Greg, this is back in the day where in order for you to get a show, you had to have an S curl.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
An S curl. That's
a couple parts.
I had the boxes too, right?
Yes, sir. No doubt. We was working hard early 90s, so I can't wait for the reunion. The crew is excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a good one. So check us out next week. And remember, just like Rakim, it ain't where you're from, it's where you at. So always keep it on the center. Boom. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. Love y'all.
They used to jam in the center.